Hey everyone, I want to take this opportunity to thank you for watching the video and just to say hello and introduce myself um, and tell you what to expect on upcoming videos. The reason for putting this together is we're going to be building a new home this spring and summer, um, and we wanted to document that. We did this for our current home 17 years ago, and we have very few pictures of the build, and I always wished we had done a better job at taking pictures or video or whatever of the process to look back on it. To I believe that if you look back at your the challenges you faced and how you got over them, it encourages you going forward. So maybe along the way we'll meet some new friends and we'll inspire someone or encourage someone to take on their project if they're thinking about doing something in the future. Um, we also wanted a way to um, organize our. I always take a bunch of footage and pictures when we travel, and then I get home and nothing ever becomes of it. So by learning how to edit video, learning a new skill, which I think is important, and documenting those memories. You remember, I do at least. You know, you're looking at you're in your grandparents' basement, and you're looking at the old slides or the old film, and it was always such a chore to set it up, and the film would never load right or whatever, and everybody, you had to get everybody down there and hang the sheet on the wall. You all remember that. Well, I think that in the age that we live in, we're pretty fortunate that we're able to share our video, share our experiences with our friends and family, maybe along the way encourage, inspire someone. That's just an added bonus. And it's pretty simple. People are always asking me about something I built, or I like to restore vehicles. I've done a bunch of Jeeps, and now we're into Volkswagens, and if I could just refer them to a video to show them how the process happens, show the struggles and the challenges you face, um, you can get a real picture of what it takes to do the project. So I look forward to the content. I look forward to the build, and I look forward to bringing you all along. And we chose the name "Dig What You Do" because that's something my wife and I always say. It's from an old song we heard years ago, but we always say, "Do what you dig." There's so many people out there that they don't take the time, they don't prioritize themselves enough, and take the time to do what they really enjoy, what really makes them happy, what they're passionate about. So you hear us all the time. We say it: "Do what you dig what you do. Life will be sweet." Okay, so this is it. This is the house plan. As you can see, that's really, the house is just basically it's a ranch, but with a steep pitched roof. The house is 34 wide by 34 deep, 44 wide by 34 deep, with an 812 pitch roof. So if you look over here, you can see there's going to be a walkout basement, and then that's our main living space. And so this 1/3, this end of the house is the part that's open to the ceiling, to the roof. So that's going to be a really nice room. We're not going to have this, perfect stone wall here. Let's just say there's plenty of rocks on the property. Plenty would be a word to use. Yeah, plenty. You're going to see that in future videos. There's a lot of rocks. So we're going to build a stone retaining wall. Probably have to tier it so it'll make opportunity for some real nice landscaping, and then continue the stone. This is going to be a much grander. I was going to do I have some hemlock that I'm going to have milled up into 6x6s for the front, and do something really cool here in the front, something decorative with the 6x6s for the front entrance, and then all nice landscaping out here. It's not going to be all angular and square. It's going to be more flowing and natural. So anyway, this is the end. This is the chimney. Of course, it's not going to go all the way down to the floor, to the ground. It's going to stop about here, because the wood stove is going to be up in here, and there'll be a plug at the bottom to clean it. So there'll be like a little shelf supporting it. But my shop's going to be down here, so there's a walkout door to get projects in and out of the shop. That's a wood shop mainly. And then these two windows are egress windows, so that if, for whatever reason, if somebody in the future wanted to put a bedroom in the basement, this could be a 4-bedroom home. So in the meantime, it'll let a lot of nice light into my shop. So this shows the that end of the house. See the deck in the back. It's going to be a retaining wall here and also one over here. So these are just more elevations. The other end of the house is the mudroom. The end here, these are the two windows in the bedroom that's upstairs. Metal roof. We're going to do something really cool with the siding. I think we're going to do like my friend's doing an addition on his house, and he's using this Hardy mix. It looks like board and batten. I think we might do that because the barn's going to be board and batten. So this is boring. This is the roof plan, but this cutaway here shows that loft space. So this is the two rooms up above the 2/3 of the house. And you see here, this is drawn with 16-inch TJI rafters. We're not going to use TJIs. We decided to use trusses, but there's going to be plenty of opportunity to insulate that. Perhaps 12 inches of insulation in the ceiling. And this shows these knee walls. That'll make more sense when I show you the second floor plan. But these two little triangle spaces here will be storage space. So wherever we decide to put these walls will determine how high that wall is as it moves up the roof. We want to have like a full-size door going in there, so it'll probably be bigger, taller than 6 foot, that's the way it's drawn. And then maybe I'll have shelves on that wall so that you can walk in that room from these two rooms and have storage that's neat and clean. And we'll put some lighting in there, so you gotta have some storage space up there, but this way you don't have to go up another set of stairs to get in the attic. This is the foundation plan. It shows a bathroom down here. I don't think it's gonna go over there. It's probably gonna go over here. There's a bathroom above it right here, so it makes sense to put it right there. This under the mudroom in the basement is going to be where all my mechanicals go. My electrical service is going to come in here. I'll probably have like a wall mounted boiler, propane, so it vents right to the outside. You don't need a chimney with that. And then I'll have the on-demand hot water off of it. And like I said, I don't want to have the hot water go too far, so the hot water will go from like here to bathroom here, right there, kitchen over here, bathroom here, 2 bathrooms here, I guess. So the hot water won't have to go too far, so won't be wasting a lot waiting for it. And this is the first floor plan, 1,568 square feet. There's the mudroom. Here's the front door where guests will come in. Again, this is all open. This 1/3 of the house is 14 feet wide. It's open to the ceiling. Got the wood stove in there. Dining table. This will, the couch and the TV or whatever. The kitchen with a big island here. Kitchen will have the sink here and under the window, which will be nice in the morning because the sun will come up over here and it will go like this around the house, so right across our big main living space with all the windows all day. It'll come across here and it'll set over here in our bedrooms back here. So we really were careful about how we place the house in regards to the sun with this one. In the current house we live in, we're flipping light switches on in the middle of the day because we weren't too careful with where we put it. That was a big mistake, so we learned from that mistake. Another thing we really wanted was in the kitchen. We wanted this corner pantry. I got this idea from my sister's house in Florida. She had this and we loved it. Instead of having a Lazy Susan in an upper cabinet that is, 1, expensive, and 2, you can't get to the back of it. I think this is the land of the lost cups here in the back corner. We decided to build a wall here, you stick a door in there, put a light in there, put shelves all in there, and you can see all your food. When it's time to prepare a meal, you can just look in there and it's all right there. And then it's much cheaper than buying those cabinets. So stove is here. Originally I wanted the stove here because I'm very aware of where things are going to vent, and if it were here it would just vent right through the wall. But we thought it more important to have the sink under the window, and we can vent this stove right through the pantry and out the front wall here. So, and that's the fridge. In the hallway, there's a linen closet, a coat closet. And we'll have storage for, in the mudroom, we'll have benches and hooks and little places to put your boots and all that. So, but we'll also have a coat closet in the house. And then this is our bedroom. It's not huge. It's 14.6 by 13.6. And then the bathroom. The bathroom is a nice size. That shower is going to be 5 feet wide. Now, I've yet to decide. It's probably going to be some sort of tile. With maybe the pebble floor in it. Just a bathroom, and it will vent right through the wall there. Come back into the bedroom. Our closet's here, and then the laundry is connected to it. So that eliminates the need for hauling laundry all around the house. You get dressed and undressed right in here, and the laundry's right there. So that should go well. Again, for the venting purposes, this is the dryer, and it will vent right through that wall. That piece of pipe, dryer vent, will be maybe 2 feet long, probably less, right through the wall. And then the other bath over here, that'll vent, right through the wall here. So there's the ceiling fan right there. Exhaust fan will go right through the wall. So, and that'll have a tub in it. I think every house needs at least one tub, so that'll have a tub in it. That'll be the common bathroom where everybody uses. So that's the first floor plan. I'm going to talk about the construction of the walls a little bit and what super insulating means. Let's go back to the foundation plan. Originally I was going to use what's called ICFs, insulated concrete forms. You see a lot of there's a lot of channels on YouTube where they used it. Pure Living for Life built their house with it. There's tons of video out there of ICFs. I had a hard time making it all happen. Every ICF company I try to get a hold of for a quote is so busy that I couldn't get anywhere with them. So what I decided to do was use a conventional foundation, and then I'm going to insulate all the way up to the top of the wall on the outside, 2 inches of foam all the way up to the top of the concrete. Under the slab we're going to have foam. What you're trying to do is get continuous insulation under, all the way up the wall, all the way up the roof, all the way down. It's called a building envelope. And then we're going to have 2 more inches inside. And then I'm going to frame walls all the way around. This, again, is going to be my shop. So I'm going to frame walls all the way around, 2x4s, with 4 inches of rock wool insulation. So I'm going to have 8 inches of insulation, 6 inches on the inside, 2 inches on the outside. I've done research, and from what I can tell, 30 to 40% of your energy for heat is lost through your basement walls. So I'm trying to prevent that. So anyway, that's the foundation. And then for the first floor, for the rest of the house, the walls are going to be 2x6. And then I'm going to use sheathing. So it's a 1/2 inch of sheathing, 1/2 inch of OSB with 1 inch of foam on it. It's called Zip R sheathing. Zip sheathing is that green sheathing you see. You don't need a house wrap on it. You tape the joints. So we're gonna have 1 inch of insulation outside the wall, and then we're gonna put 2 inches of spray foam inside the wall, and it'll seal up all those joints. And then we'll have 4 inches of rock wool inside of the spray foam. So we're gonna have 7 inches of insulation in these walls. We'll have, 8 inches in the basement, 2 inches at least under the slab, and 12 inches in the roof. So that's what super insulating means. Now, the reason for what I call outsolation, the foam on the outside, is to prevent what's called thermal bridging. In a conventional way of framing, the way this house is framed, you have 2x6 walls. You put a 1/2 inch plywood right onto the studs on the outside, and you just insulate the stud bay. Well, the problem with that is that the heat and the air will go through the studs. So if you frame 16 inches on center, which is the code, and you put R19 in the stud bays, I think it's 17% of your wall is studs. So you take 17% off of R19, and you're basically left with an R15 wall. So I'm going to have the 1 inch foam. Don't quote me on this, but I believe is an R4. And then 2 inches of spray foam. I have all these numbers in my files upstairs, but 2 inches of spray foam is R14. I think that's right. And then 4 inches of rock wool would be R19, because I know 6 inches is R23. Maybe it's R15. Yeah, it's R15 for the rock wool. So 15, 14, and 4 is R33. I remember thinking I'm going to have like an R30 wall, but without any thermal bridging, it's really an R30, as opposed to R19 pink insulation with thermal bridging is like an R15. So let's say I'm going to have double the insulation in the walls that I do in my current house. So that's what super insulating means to me. So this is the upstairs. The stairs come up, and then this will be open to below here. It will be like a railing. I like the look of the like wire rope and the turnbuckles, the sort of industrial look. We'll see what that costs. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. But anyway, that's going to be open to the room below. This will be office, and then you'll see here's a door and here's a door to get to those storage areas. And that says 6-foot wall, but if we move these in a little, those walls get taller. I'm not real crazy about cutting the bottom of doors off to make them fit in spaces, so we may move those in. You see that line is the 8-foot ceiling line right there. So that's going to be a little sloped on the, if we leave the wall here, that'll be a little sloped ceiling just on the edge of the rooms. So I'm picturing I'm going to use this space. I play guitar a bit and like to write music, so I may have all my gear up here, and that's my kind of place to go get away and write music. And then this will be a guest bedroom. So, and then this, you gotta have storage, like I said. You gotta have some storage, you know. I mean, I think the more storage you have, the more junk you keep, but you gotta have some. So that's what we're gonna have. And then there's 2 windows above the mudroom for this bedroom. So that'll be a nice space. And then a cathedral ceiling. We like to have concerts right in our living room. So you'll be able to be up here. I'll be able to film from up there. Sit up there and look down on the room. It'll be good. Fill the room with people. Have the door open out to the deck out here. You get a good crowd in there. So there it is. There's the first floor, 1,500 square feet, and the second floor is about 5. It's about just over 2,000 square feet. Here it shows with the wood stove right in the middle of the room. So what I wanted to do there was you come through the mudroom, take your boots off. Picture it's a nice snowy, cold New England day, winter day. You come through. Now we've got 2 doors, like an airlock. You come through a nice big wide hall. For my nephew's in a wheelchair, that's why we have the ramp back here. And nice wide halls are a good thing. You come in, you look up, and you say, I'm going to get a wood stove with the glass front. So you get in, just the sight of that fire is going to make you warmer. just the sight of it is going to be very comforting. So that's why we went with the wood stove there. And that's it. Now on to the barn plan. So you see this picture, it's 3 bays wide, so it's 36 feet wide and then 24 feet deep the building is. And then this overhang area is 10 feet wide with 8-foot clearance, and that will be used for, I'm going to have a wood rack out here for all my woodworking projects, keep the wood under cover. Again, 36 feet long, so you can get plenty of wood on there, because I can't throw a piece of wood away. I have to keep it under cover and hold on to it for years until I use it. And then I have a tractor and a mini excavator, and those will be stored under here, kept out of the rain. So years ago I started looking for a barn kit so I could build it myself. And I kept coming across this company in Vermont called Jamaica Cottage Shop. And I looked at their website several times. Now they build anything from chicken coops. I think he started his company building dog houses, chicken coops, you know, garden sheds, a lot of garden sheds, garages, even mini cabins that you can, like tiny houses. They're all rough cut hemlock, native to northern New England for framing. It's all post and beam, and then they use pine siding, again native. They kiln dry it and they cut it all themselves, and they can sell you a complete building, like a sheds. They can drop you a building, put it right where you want it, or they can sell you a kit to build it, or in the big ones I think it's just kits. But They didn't have this exact building, but they had one very similar called a 36 by 24 equipment shed. The only difference is that this rear wall was like 6 or 7 feet tall, so that roof line would come down like this, so that wouldn't allow me to have the overhang. But I really wanted that overhang, so what I did was I bought their kit, just the frame, not the siding, and then I ordered a couple extra posts so I can extend these posts and I can recut these rafters for that pitch, and then I could build the overhang. So I got that. They had a sale going. I ordered it last fall, so I've had it for 4 months sitting under cover getting ready to build it. I didn't buy all the siding. They will sell you all the trim, all the siding, all pre-cut, and all you do is put it together. But I didn't buy that because all these are going to change, because these moved up, so these now would all be too short. So I'm going to get all the siding from a local mill. They even sell you the roofing. They have all different colors of roofing. I'm having a company come in and put standing seam on the house and the barn so they match. And this will be board and batten siding I'll get from a local mill. I had been looking at their buildings, and then a channel I watch on YouTube called Lumna Acres is Al Lumna and his family are homesteaders in northern New Hampshire. He builds all kinds of stuff. He built a workshop and a goat barn from Jamaica Cottage Shop, and I tell you, Al inspired me. I was about to pull the trigger, and then I watched Al's series build that barn, and yeah, he inspired me. I said, hell, I could do that. So I bought the kit, and can't wait to build it. I built a similar building at our current house. It's a 30 by 30 workshop, and with two 10-foot overhangs on either side. It's a pole barn. I designed the whole thing. I drew the plan. Back then you could just draw the plan on graph paper and go to the building department and get your permit. Not anymore. It's just 6 by 6 posts and 2 by 4 purlins, and then I used trusses for the roof and metal roofing, and it was a good project. Me and my brother and a couple friends built it, and it's been a good space. I've done a lot of good work in that building, so I'm pretty sure I can handle this one. Then I'll have a company come in and put garage doors. So this just shows, that's the building. The blue outline is the actual 34 by 20, 36 by 24, and then this is the overhang. It's going to be built on piers. This is the concrete. We're going to use what are called Bigfoots. They look like elephant's foots, and the sonnet tube fits right over them. You pour the whole thing all at once, and then this is the connector. It'll get set in the concrete, and then my posts will connect to those. That's what this is right here. And then you see there's another one on the top for the 3 2x12 carrying beam. That'll be right here, right there, to support the roof. So we tried to do it this way. This is what's called a haunched footing. We have to be, in our neck of the woods, 42 inches below the grade for frost protection. This is you can use this in some applications, but our building department wouldn't go for it. This is 12 inches, 12-inch haunched footing. It's called a monolithic slab. You pour the slab and the footing all at once, and then you put insulation here, because frost travels at an angle, and so you have vertical insulation, horizontal insulation. But I couldn't do that. That would have been a lot cheaper, a lot less concrete, but oh well. I don't know, it's going to have a good foundation under it. So all these drawings are from the Jamaica Cottage Shop plans. My designer was able to take them off of there and put them on this, so it shows all the detail for construction. You see here's a post that's notched to accept the rim joist. It goes all the way around. Then there's collar ties, and then you see the rafters here. It's a pretty simple design. I don't think I'll have much problem. I got a lot of people want to help me, so looking forward to it. So when we started this, we really wanted to build a timber frame home. We really like the look of timber frame homes. So we, about 3 or 4 years ago, we went to a timber framing and log home show a couple hours away, and we met with, it was a great opportunity to meet with several different timber frame builders, and we ended up getting quotes from 4 of them, and they were all across the spectrum as far as how they went about the process. There was one builder that uses CNC machines, and they would take the rough timbers and put it on the machine, and a computer program would cut all the cuts perfectly. So when it was done, it was perfect. There was another one who, the first thing the man said to me literally was, we take the tools to the wood, we don't take the wood to the tools. So they do it the old-fashioned way with, they have chainsaw mortisers and chisels, and they're sharpening their chisels 3-4 times a day. Beautiful work. I went up and visited their shop, and then they took me to a customer's home that they had built. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, it's really good to see that kind of craftsmanship alive and well today. So I got 4 quotes, and for a 1,500 square foot box timber frame with the sheathing, most of them will use what's called structural integrated panels, or SIPs. It's drywall on one side, and like 6 inches of spray foam, and then a 1/2 inch of plywood sheathing on the outside, and they sort of lock together and screw into the frame. That was between $120,000 and $140,000, and then you have to finish the house, put all the mechanicals in it, put all the finishes in it, put a roof on it. So it became evident quite quickly that we weren't going to be building a timber frame in that aspect. The house would not be worth, it wasn't a good move real estate wise. The house would have not been worth what would have cost to build it, so by a long shot. So we decided to look at other options, and what I decided was, after doing a lot of research, watching a lot of videos, reading a lot of stuff online, and talking to a lot of people, was that the most important thing for us was that we build a house that's super insulated, that would take very little heat and cooling to keep it comfortable inside the house. That led me to decide to build conventional stick framing 2x6 walls, but with a building envelope outside of the walls, and I'll go into that later. But and in the true spirit of what the timber framers of days gone by did, they used the best technology they had at the time, which at the time was they had trees, and they had hand saws, and they had chisels, and they built. They didn't have 2x4s, they didn't have Lowe's and Home Depot, they didn't have any of that. They had trees, so they built houses with trees. And the best technology we have today enables us to build a home that, instead of just building a bigger fire in the basement and putting more heat in and more fossil fuel in the tank, we can build a home that retains its heat and cool air far better than anything did in the past. So that's what we're going to do. But we didn't want to give up on the timber frame completely. So I started hearing about hybrid timber frames and about timber accents. So what we're going to do is we're going to trim the house out with timber accents. We were fortunate in that the building lot had a lot of pine on it. So last summer I cut, there was enough pine that had to come down because it was either recently died or was in the way or whatever. I cut down a lot of pine, and I put anchor seal in the ends of the logs to prevent it from cracking and checking. And then I came across a guy in town here where I live that has a sawmill and is going to mill me up all that pine into 6x6s and 1x6s, and I've got a plan to dress the house up with timber accents so that when you walk into my house, it'll feel like a timber frame, but the timber frame is not actually structural, it's all decorative. And it's that, the lumber was free, and I'm doing all the work. So all I'm going to have into it is what I pay him to mill it up. So, and I'm really looking forward to that, and I'm really looking forward to showing you that. So we're going to get the look of a timber frame from trees that were from the lot, and we're going to get the satisfaction of doing it ourselves, which is something that's very important to us. So that's our timber frame story. So let me show you this model I built of our house with some scrap lumber I had in my shop, just to get a sense of the space. It's to scale. It's 44 inches long and 34 inches wide, and the house is 44 feet by 34 feet. And then all the rooms are the right size. So this is the front door, dining room, living room, kitchen is here. Our bedroom would be back here. I drew it originally with the closet here and the bathroom down there in the corner, but we flip-flopped those two, so the bathroom will be here and the closet will be there. The laundry will be here. There's a hallway right down the middle, and the bedroom, spare bedroom, or second bedroom, I guess, bathroom closet. So we wanted to get a sense of how large this space will be, and if it was a big enough space or too big or whatever, and where everything would lay out in the kitchen. See, this is an island right here. So, and the roof pitch is right, so it gave us a sense of the space before we built the thing, and it was all scrap lumber. So down on this end, the mud room will be down here. I mean, it's not the finest carpentry in the world, but it did the job for what we wanted it to do. So we did actually make changes, like I said, after we built. So now you've seen the plans and the model that I made, and let me tell you where we're at in the process. So as I said, I bought the lot. We bought the lot 5 years ago, and we last summer we went through all of the permit process. We had the proposed driveway that we weren't able to get in because there's some wetlands off to the edge of it. So we're sharing a driveway with our neighbors, which that's okay. So we cleared that driveway. We took all the material out and we put in gravel, so we have a construction entrance to the lot. We cleared the lot, cut all the trees, pulled all the stumps, pulled all the rocks. I did all that myself. So the lot is clean, the rocks are all piled up, and we've got building permit for the house, building permit for the barn, we've got the zoning permit, we've got electrical permit. I met with the power company last week to talk about where the trench and the transformer will be. I'm going to be doing that myself next month once we start building. I think we're going to dig the foundation hole in the next couple weeks, and when that all gets going, I'll get my machine down there and I'll put the trench in for the power. We've got permit for the well. We've got the excavation contractor is hired, ready to go. He's a very good friend of mine. The concrete contractor is hired and ready to go. He's going to do both foundations. The electrician is hired, and he did this house good and has done work for me over the years, so he's ready to go. That permit's pulled. We're finalizing plumbing here in the next week or so. The well, the guy that's going to drill the well I've given him a deposit. He's pulled the permit. He's ready to go now. I said, let's wait till we get the foundation in. So he's ready to go. I'm getting quotes this week. I'm expecting quotes, a couple quotes to come in on the standing seam roof for the house and the barn. So that'll get finalized. And everything else, I'm pretty much doing on my own. Me and my buddies are going to build the barn, and I'm really looking forward to that project. And it's just going to be the lumber suppliers quoted me on the package, and I've worked with him in past projects, and my builder has worked with him in past projects, so I'm hoping that goes smoothly. We just have to take the time to pick out the things we want and make changes as we go forward. So it's going to be a fun summer. It's going to be a busy summer. So yeah, I look forward to the content. I bought a drone this winter so I can shoot aerial footage. I think that'll be really cool, especially in the day we fly the trusses in on the house with the crane. That's another thing. I have an acquaintance, a music friend who is a crane operator, so I'm hoping to get him to come in to fly the trusses in. So I look forward to the shooting the content and making the videos and bringing you all along and actually doing the build, and it's going to be a good year, I think. So 2020, you better look out. It's going to be a good one for our family. So anyway, I'm going to sign off. So do what you dig what you do. Life will be sweet. We'll see you next time.